Nothing about your pain was wasted. It was all preparation for this very moment. You've been wondering why the door wouldn't open. You blamed yourself. Thought maybe you weren't good enough, smart enough, holy enough. But hear this. Sometimes God doesn't open doors because He's building walls around what isn't meant for you. He's not punishing you. He's protecting you. The delay you hated was divine direction. You are here because the God who made galaxies has decided that today your spirit must awaken. You've been wondering why everything lately feels heavier, sharper, more intense, why the people around you don't understand you anymore, why even the things that used to comfort you now feel hollow. It's because heaven has shifted your frequency. The old you is fading. The ordinary patterns no longer fit the chosen one you are becoming. You can't go back to sleep. Chosen one. Heaven has paused everything around you right now. You feel it, the stillness, the sudden pull in your chest, the sense that this moment is unlike any other, because it is. This is the first time heaven has spoken to you like this. So directly, so personally, so unavoidably. You were scrolling, distracted, wandering through the noise of the world, but heaven reached through the veil and stopped you. Listen closely now. You are not here by accident. Nothing about your pain was wasted. It was all preparation for this very moment. You've been wondering why the door wouldn't open. You blamed yourself. Thought maybe you weren't good enough, smart enough, holy enough. But hear this. Sometimes God doesn't open doors because He's building walls around what isn't meant for you. He's not punishing you. He's protecting you. The delay you hated was divine direction. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Isaiah, chapter 42, verse 31. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. That's not poetry for your comfort. That's prophecy for your life. You are about to soar again. The strength you thought was gone is coming back. Your wings were never broken. They were just being reshaped for greater altitude. You're not behind. You're being launched. There's a reason the enemy tried so hard to distract you lately. He knows what happens when a chosen one wakes up. He knows that when you start walking in your divine calling, the atmosphere changes. Every time you speak life, darkness loses ground. Every time you forgive instead of retaliate, hell trembles. Every time you choose faith over fear, the kingdom of God expands through you. That's why warfare has intensified, because you're dangerous to the darkness. Look at your life right now, the strange coincidences, the repeating numbers, the sudden awareness that God's voice is echoing everywhere. It's not random. Heaven is orchestrating a message. You are called. You are chosen. You are being positioned. The whispers you've been hearing in your spirit are divine confirmations. That small voice saying, "Don't give up yet," that's not your imagination. That's God reminding you that your story isn't over. It's just entering the chapter He wrote before you were born. Every chosen one reaches this moment, the divine interruption. It's the instant where heaven calls your name louder than your excuses. You can't delay anymore. You can't stay comfortable in what's familiar. The time for waiting is done. The time for obedience has come. So stand tall. Wipe your tears. Lift your eyes. The same God who parted the sea for Moses is parting confusion for you right now. The same voice that called Lazarus from the tomb is calling your purpose out of hiding. You are not just being comforted, you are being commissioned. And as you receive these words, Let your spirit respond. Don't scroll away like it's just another video. No, this is your divine encounter. This is heaven saying, I see you. I choose you. I have need of you. Chosen one. If this word is resonating deep in your spirit, if you feel the truth stirring inside you, take one prophetic step of faith. Tap like as your silent amen. Share this so another chosen one might wake up. And comment the number 777 below as a sign that you receive divine perfection and heavenly alignment. This is your moment. This is not coincidence. This is divine interruption. Say what this awakening stirs in you. Maybe it's, I feel it. Maybe it's, I'm ready to rise. Whatever it is, let it be real. Your words become testimony, and testimony carries weight in the realm of the spirit. Someone scrolling might read your comment and awaken because of it. This is how the sound spreads from one awakened soul to another, like ripples on still water. One word, spoken in faith, can move through hearts continents apart. You are part of this symphony now. You were marked not by accident, but by the deliberate hand of heaven. Every time you felt rejected, misunderstood, or left out, it wasn't because you were unworthy. It was because your spirit was outgrowing the environments that could no longer contain your calling. God's fingerprints were on your difference. What others called too emotional was actually spiritual discernment. What they labeled too intense was the flame of divine passion burning inside you. They couldn't see the oil that heaven had poured over your life, but God did. There's a reason why relationships broke, why doors closed, why people suddenly turned cold. The truth is, you were never being abandoned, you were being set apart. Some people had to leave because their presence would have interfered with your anointing. Some environments had to collapse because you were never meant to build your future on foundations that couldn't carry your destiny. It hurt. Yes, but heaven was protecting you, even in silence. Do you remember those nights you cried, asking God why you felt alone? You thought He had forgotten you, but the entire time He was marking you, you were being sealed for divine use. When others were running after attention, you were being hidden in preparation. When others were chasing platforms, you were being refined in private. The silence was not rejection, it was consecration. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6. For you are a people holy to the Lord, your God, chosen as His treasured possession. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6. For you are a people holy to the Lord, your God, chosen as His treasured possession. Every hidden season was heaven's handwriting on your destiny. When you were invisible to the crowd, you were visible to the throne. You carry spiritual DNA that distinguishes you. That's why your spirit reacts to injustice. Why you can sense when something is off. Why you feel heavy around deception. It's because you were made to discern truth and carry light into places where others are blind. But being marked doesn't just mean being favored. It means being chosen for responsibility. To be marked by heaven is to carry weight that others can't understand. It's to walk through tests that would crush ordinary people. The mark you carry draws spiritual battles because it carries spiritual authority. The enemy sees the seal on your forehead even when you can't. That's why warfare surrounds you. That's why your peace is often under attack. Yet, don't mistake warfare for weakness. It's confirmation. The enemy doesn't waste ammunition on those who pose no threat. He targets those whose destiny is dangerous to darkness. You are that kind of threat. You are the one who carries breakthrough in your very breath. When you pray, chains break. When you speak, atmospheres shift. When you worship, heaven responds. There's a reason God marked you early, before you even knew his name. He wanted to make sure that no matter where you wandered, his seal would call you back. And now, because of that training, you can discern the difference between opportunity and distraction, between emotional impulse and divine instruction. Chosen one. Do not despise the hidden years. They were heaven's investment. While others built platforms, you built character. While others chased followers, you chased the presence. And soon, what was unseen will be undeniable. You will rise not by human endorsement, but by divine appointment. Remember this, God doesn't rush masterpieces. The scars you carry, they're not signs of defeat, they're seals of authenticity. Proof that you've endured. Proof that you've been tried by fire and still stand. Chosen one. Understand this truth deep in your soul. God doesn't choose based on perfection. He chooses based on purpose. You may not have done everything right, but his mark on your life is irrevocable. You may have fallen, but his calling hasn't. His gifts and his purpose are without repentance. Those words are your mirror. Chosen one. They are not ancient history. They are your identity. You have been handpicked. You are heaven's possession, not a wandering mistake. Not a forgotten dream, but a vessel of divine purpose. That's why the world could never fully claim you. That's why the pleasures that satisfy others never truly satisfied you. Your soul was designed for something eternal, something pure, something sacred. God didn't overlook you. He singled you out. Chosen one. You've walked through storms that few even noticed. While others celebrated, you were fighting invisible battles. While they rested, you wrestled with questions no one could answer. You've been in what heaven calls the silent training ground, the place where strength is forged in solitude. It is where God shapes warriors while the world sleeps. You didn't understand it then, but now the Spirit reveals the truth. Nothing you endured was wasted. Every disappointment, every delay, every betrayal, they were chisels in the hand of the master potter. You prayed for purpose, and he answered with process. You asked for destiny, and he gave you discipline. You wanted to be elevated, and he taught you endurance. That's how heaven trains its chosen ones. Not through comfort, but through challenge. Not through applause, but through adversity. Those words are your mirror. Chosen one. They are not ancient history. They are your identity. You have been handpicked. You are heaven's possession, not a wandering mistake. Not a forgotten dream, but a vessel of divine purpose. That's why the world could never fully claim you. That's why the pleasures that satisfy others never truly satisfied you. Your soul was designed for something eternal, something pure, something sacred. God didn't overlook you. He singled you out. The world may not recognize your worth yet, but heaven already does. You've been marked not just to survive, but to transform. Wherever you go, you carry divine fragrance. When you enter a room, light enters with you. Your difference is not a defect, it's divine design. You are not merely existing, You are evidence of God's intention on earth. The world saw your silence as weakness, but heaven saw it as obedience. You stayed when you could have walked away. You prayed when you wanted to give up. You kept believing when logic said, stop. That persistence didn't go unnoticed. It built spiritual muscle that can carry the weight of destiny. You see, before God releases a public assignment, He always conducts private preparation. David learned to fight lions and bears before facing Goliath. Joseph learned to serve faithfully in prison before ruling in Pharaoh's palace. You too have been in your unseen season, the hidden classroom of greatness. God was teaching you lessons no book could explain. Sometimes He delayed your promotion so your heart wouldn't rise before your humility did. Sometimes He withheld answers so your faith would deepen beyond feelings. The silence trained your ears to recognize His whisper among the world's noise. The prophet reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians, chapter 9, verse 24, "Do you not know that in a race all the runners run, but only one gets the prize? Run in such a way as to get the prize." And you were never in competition with anyone else. Your race is your own. The delay was training, not denial. God was developing endurance inside you, the kind that doesn't collapse under pressure. You were being prepared for a calling that demands spiritual stamina. The same way fire tempers gold, time refines the chosen. The silence was never a void. It was the sound of heaven constructing your foundation. You weren't being ignored. You were being incubated. Every tear was watering your future harvest. You may not realize it yet, but the lessons learned in your training ground are exactly what will sustain you in your promotion. Those lonely nights taught you intercession. Those broken moments taught you compassion. Those delays taught you discernment. You have become a vessel heaven can trust. Now, the Spirit says, it's almost time. You're emerging stronger, wiser, anchored. What once wounded you will soon become your weapon. You're not the same person who entered the wilderness. You've been transformed by fire. And that's why your next season will not destroy you. It will reveal you. So, chosen one, as a prophetic act of faith, type "I am ready" in the comments. Let those 3 words echo as your declaration. You are not announcing readiness to people, you are speaking to heaven itself. You're saying, I've learned what I needed to learn. I'm done running from the calling. I'm ready for what comes next. Write it not as habit, but as covenant. Each letter you type is an agreement between your spirit and God's purpose. Heaven watches faith in motion, even digital faith. The act of writing "I am ready" is more than text. It's testimony. Because, truly, you are ready now. Ready to step out of obscurity. Ready to walk in power. Ready to carry the mantle that's been forming in silence. Your training ground has served its purpose. The door ahead is opening. And when you step through, you'll realize the waiting was worth it. There are seasons when God removes the noise of the crowd just to speak to you alone. You know this season well. The wilderness, it's not a place of punishment, but a place of preparation. The silence, the solitude, the stillness, all of it has been sacred. Heaven doesn't waste wildernesses. Every dry moment has carried divine intention. The wilderness is where the world forgets you and heaven forms you. At first, you didn't understand why everything went quiet. Doors stopped opening. People stopped calling. Opportunities slipped away. You wondered if you had done something wrong, but the Spirit was whispering, "No, this is necessary," because in noise, you would have mistaken distraction for destiny. So he led you away from applause, away from influence, away from the comfort of familiar voices, not to punish you, but to help you finally hear his. It's in the wilderness that illusions die. You can no longer pretend, no longer hide behind activity or achievement. The wilderness strips away everything that isn't essential until only truth remains. You start to see who you really are, not who the world told you to be. Not who pain tried to make you, but who God designed before the foundations of time. You've discovered that silence is not absence. God has been closer in the quiet than he ever was in the crowd. He's been whispering wisdom into the places where your heart still trembles. You've learned to pray without words, to worship without music, to believe without visible signs. That's the power of the wilderness. It builds faith that doesn't depend on evidence, as was spoken in the sacred texts of old. In the book of Exodus, chapter 3, verse 4, when the Lord saw that he had gone over to look, God called to him from within the bush, "Moses, Moses," and Moses said, "Here I am." That's what the wilderness does. It gets your attention. Just as Moses turned aside to see the burning bush, you have turned aside from your distractions to notice divine fire in unexpected places. God doesn't need crowds to call you. He calls you from flames that burn in solitude. He reveals purpose in the desert, not in the palace. In the wilderness, your old identity starts to fall away. You begin to release the masks you wore to survive. You've felt that pull your whole life, haven't you? Even in rebellion, even in confusion. Something inside you couldn't walk too far. That something was his mark, his covenant, his claim on your life. And now that mark is beginning to shine. You're stepping into recognition, not human applause, but divine acknowledgement. Heaven is saying, "This is my chosen one." Every spiritual attack was meant to erase that mark, but it only made it glow brighter. Every rustle of the Spirit becomes a command, every whisper, a promise. That's how prophets are born, how intercessors rise, how destiny takes root. You've started to notice how much smaller your circle has become, haven't you? The more you listen to heaven, the fewer voices can walk beside you. Don't mourn their departure. The wilderness always prunes. It's not rejection, it's refinement. Those who were never meant to carry your next season simply fade away. Let them go with peace. There's a kind of beauty in the desert that the untrained eye can't see. The barren landscape hides streams underground. The heat refines. The stillness heals. You may feel stripped, but you're actually being strengthened. The wilderness is not emptiness, it's incubation. Every unseen moment is producing unseen glory. The greatest revelations are born in silence. When everything external dries up, the internal well begins to flow. You find that God doesn't just dwell in temples, he dwells in you. That realization changes everything. It shifts your confidence from circumstance to presence. It teaches you that even when there's no sign, no sound, no light, he is still there. So now, when others panic at the silence, you rest in it. You understand what it means when heaven goes quiet. It's not abandonment, it's alignment. God is fine-tuning your spirit to his frequency. The pause is purposeful. The stillness is strategy. And when the season changes, and it will, you'll step out of the wilderness with eyes that see differently, ears that hear deeper, and a spirit that no longer needs proof to trust. You'll carry something invisible but undeniable: authority that came from solitude, peace that came from wrestling, and wisdom that came from stillness. Chosen one. There are moments in the divine journey when God doesn't build you up, He breaks you first. Not to destroy you, but to rebuild you stronger than before. This is the season where the potter's hands press deep. You feel the pressure, the spinning, the reshaping. You look at what's being undone and wonder, why is everything I built crumbling? But hear this truth: heaven never breaks what it doesn't intend to bless afterward. The breaking is not the end, it's the beginning of your becoming. Before a seed can rise, it must split. Before new wine flows, the grape must be crushed. Before light bursts from the sky, clouds must first tear apart. Every breaking in your life is simply heaven's announcement that transformation has begun. You've lost things that felt permanent: relationships, opportunities, stability. It felt like your world collapsed beneath your feet. But God saw what you couldn't, the cracks that would have weakened your foundation later. He tore down what you thought was your structure to reveal what was truly your source. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms. Chapter 34, verse 18. The Lord is close to the broken-hearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Even in your breaking, you were never alone. God was not watching from a distance. He was holding the pieces. Each shattered fragment of your story is being refitted with purpose. Every disappointment has a hidden design. Sometimes He allows what you cling to fall apart, so you'll finally cling to Him instead. Think of the butterfly. Before it flies in beauty, it must dissolve inside its cocoon. Everything that once defined it, shape, structure, identity, melts away. That's what your breaking season has been. You've been dissolving so that you could be redefined. Heaven was not punishing you. Heaven was upgrading you. The wings you'll soon unfold could never have fit your old form. You asked God to take you higher, and He answered with breaking. You asked for strength, and He gave you storms. You asked for clarity, and He stripped away illusions. This is divine logic. It breaks to build. It wounds to heal. It empties to fill. And though the world sees your tears, heaven sees your training. Every cry is a signal to the throne. Every sigh becomes a song that angels interpret. There are prayers you prayed through pain that still echo before God like music. He hasn't forgotten a single word. If you could see what He's preparing, you'd understand why the shaking had to be so violent. He's laying a foundation that can hold glory. Your story will be proof that nothing surrendered to God ever stays broken. It resurrects. It multiplies. It shines. There's beauty in your breaking. Chosen one. The same way light enters a cracked vessel, grace enters through your wounds. The same way crushed olives release oil. Your pressure has released anointing. That oil now rests upon you, evidence of what you've survived. Let your heart take comfort. The breaking was never random. It was rhythmic. It followed the pulse of heaven's purpose. You are still in God's hands, the safest place you can be. And when the rebuilding starts, you'll see why it had to happen this way. Beloved, if these words touch something inside you, if you feel the truth of this season stirring deep within, respond from your heart. Sometimes the smallest act becomes the loudest amen. Tap like as a way of saying, "Yes, Lord, I understand." Share this message so another broken soul may find healing in their own wilderness. Subscribe if you haven't. Not as a gesture of support for a voice, but as an agreement to keep walking this divine road together. And if your heart feels led, if this message has poured comfort into your night, consider giving, not out of pressure, but as planting. Think of it as sowing a seed back into the soil that has nourished you. Like rain returning to the sky, your generosity rises as worship. It's not about the amount, it's about the agreement. When you give, you tell heaven, "I trust the process. I trust the breaking will bloom." Every field that yields fruit first endures the plow. Every vessel that carries light first endures the flame. You, too, have endured both, and soon the world will see the harvest of what God has been cultivating inside you. Don't despise the breaking. It's the birthplace of brilliance. From this season will emerge a strength, the old you could never carry. You are being sculpted, purified, and prepared for glory. Hold on, chosen one. The potter's hands are still on you, and he has never made a mistake with his clay. There's a sound that won't leave you. Chosen one. It's quiet, yet relentless. The voice deep within that keeps tugging at your soul. You've tried to silence it, to drown it in busyness, to explain it away as imagination. But every time you ignore it, something feels off. That voice is not your mind, it's your maker. It's the gentle persistence of the Spirit calling you back to alignment. There are moments when you sense it most strongly, in the middle of the night when the world sleeps, or in the stillness before dawn. It whispers truths you can't unhear. It nudges you toward choices that feel uncomfortable but right. It reminds you of promises you've tried to forget. That's not coincidence. It's divine persistence. The same God who spoke galaxies into being is speaking to your spirit right now. You've run from it before. You've drowned it in distractions, relationships, and noise. You thought you could outpace conviction, but the love of God runs faster. You can't escape what heaven has written over you. You can try to rewrite your story, but his script will always pull you back. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah. Chapter 20, verse 9. But if I say, I will not mention his word, or speak any more in his name, his word is in my heart like a fire shut up in my bones. I am weary of holding it in. Indeed, I cannot. Uplift, that's what's happening to you now. The word is burning within your bones. You can't contain it anymore. The calling that once whispered is roaring now. Every time you resist it, your spirit aches. Every time you yield, peace floods in. The struggle isn't between you and failure, it's between you and fulfillment. God isn't trying to take your freedom, he's trying to give your life meaning. Many run from this inner fire because it demands surrender. It requires honesty. It calls for letting go of habits, people, and patterns that no longer fit your destiny. But obedience is never loss, it's liberation. You don't lose yourself when you obey. You discover who you were meant to be. You've heard this voice in decisions that didn't make sense. Don't go there. Wait. Be still. Speak now. You thought it was your own intuition, but it was heaven guiding your steps. Every interruption, every redirection, every delay, those were divine detours, not disappointments. God's voice doesn't always come with thunder or flashing light. Sometimes it's as soft as a thought, as gentle as a conviction, as quiet as breath. Yet, that small sound carries eternity in it. You've already proven you can survive storms. Now God is teaching you to hear whispers, because only those who have learned to listen in silence can be trusted to speak with power. This is why the noise around you has been increasing lately. The closer you get to obedience, the louder distractions become. But listen, chosen one distraction is always the final defense of darkness before destiny breaks through. Don't mistake resistance for rejection. The enemy fights loudest when your purpose is nearest. That persistent inner voice, follow it. When it says, forgive, do it quickly. When it says move, take the step, even if the path isn't clear. When it says wait, trust that delay is protection. You'll know it's His voice because it brings peace, even when it brings challenge. His words never manipulate, they liberate. There's a reason this message reached you at this exact moment. Heaven wanted to remind you that ignoring the call doesn't make it disappear. It only grows stronger. Because you are not a spectator in God's plan, you are an essential piece of it. He won't stop calling until you answer. The voice you've tried to quiet is the same one that's been keeping you alive. It's the voice that steered you away from danger, that whispered comfort when you thought no one cared, that reignited your will to live when despair surrounded you. You've mistaken it for coincidence long enough. Now it's time to acknowledge it as communion. Chosen one, this is your moment of response. Heaven is listening. If this word resonates with that burning inside your spirit, if you can feel that holy fire stirring, comment the number 555 below. Let it be your sign of change, your declaration that you're ready to listen and obey. The number 555 symbolizes divine transition and transformation. It represents the moment the old breaks away and the new begins. By writing it, you're not just typing digits, you're aligning with heaven's movement over your life. It's your way of saying, I hear you, Lord, and I won't ignore you anymore. This is the moment where obedience begins, not through grand gestures, but through quiet surrender. Listen to that voice tonight. Don't argue with it. Don't explain it away. Just whisper, here I am. Heaven will do the rest. There comes a sacred hour in every chosen life when heaven decides that hiding season is over. You've been faithful in silence, patient in the shadows, obedient when no one was watching. Now, without fanfare, without noise, heaven begins to release what was concealed. This is the moment when the mantle begins to fall. You can't see it yet, but you can feel the weight shifting around you. The air thickens, the atmosphere changes, and your spirit trembles with recognition. Something divine is being transferred. You've wondered why lately you feel both heavy and alive at the same time. Why peace and pressure coexist inside your chest. It's because the mantle doesn't just bring honor, it brings responsibility. It's not merely a robe of favor, it's the garment of assignment. When heaven places it on your shoulders, everything about your life begins to align with purpose. In this moment, you are standing in the unseen ceremony of heaven. The same way Elijah's mantle fell upon Elisha, so the Spirit is clothing you with authority that has been waiting for your maturity to catch up. All the years of pruning, of silence, of warfare, they were preparing you to carry this without breaking beneath it. The mantle can't fall on arrogance, it only rests on humility. That's why you had to be emptied before being elevated. It was proclaimed in the second book of Kings, chapter 2, verse 13. He picked up the cloak that had fallen from Elijah and went back and stood on the bank of the Jordan. That verse is a mirror of your moment. You, too, are standing at the edge of transition. The old season has fallen. The new one is waiting for your first step of faith. Elijah's cloak represented legacy, continuity, and divine succession. And now, heaven entrusts you with a similar weight. The mantle falling upon you carries the prayers of your ancestors, the hope of generations, and the authority of divine assignment. But the mantle doesn't land lightly. It presses, it tests, it stretches your heart to make room for the glory it carries. You'll feel it when you pray. Your words will suddenly carry weight they didn't before. You'll sense it when you speak. Truth will begin to pierce atmospheres. You'll notice it in how others respond to you. Some will draw near in hunger. Others will retreat in discomfort. The mantle magnifies light, and not everyone can bear the brightness. Don't be surprised if some who once walked with you begin to fall away now. It's not betrayal, it's calibration. When oil increases, alignment changes. The mantle on you will reveal who is truly called to walk beside you and who was merely passing through. The higher your assignment, the narrower your circle becomes. Carrying a mantle is not glamorous. It demands sacrifice. It will call you to rise earlier, to pray longer, to forgive faster. It will stretch your compassion for those who don't understand your calling and your patience for those who oppose it. You'll realize that the mantle doesn't make you above others. It calls you deeper into service for them. The mantle carries memory. It remembers the prayers that birthed it, the tears that sustained it, the obedience that unlocked it. Every time you lift your hands, heaven sees not just you, but the lineage of faith that led here. You are part of a continuum, a living bridge between what was and what will be. Chosen one. You may not feel ready, but heaven doesn't wait for perfect readiness. Heaven waits for willingness. God doesn't ask you to carry this in your strength. He anoints you to carry it in His. When Elisha picked up the cloak, he didn't yet know the miracles it contained, but he carried it anyway. He trusted that obedience would unlock ability. So, will you? The same Spirit that empowered Elijah empowers you now. You'll speak, and dry places will stir. You'll pray, and atmospheres will shift. You'll move, and divine ripples will follow your steps. This isn't exaggeration, it's inheritance. You'll soon begin to notice strange confirmations. A door opens where you least expected. A conversation carries divine timing. A dream repeats itself with clarity. Those are signs that the mantle is settling. Don't run from it. Let it rest upon you fully. Heaven doesn't entrust power without purpose. And when you feel the weight of it, when your spirit trembles beneath the sacred responsibility, remember this. God chose you not because you were qualified, but because you were willing to be shaped. The mantle doesn't fall by merit, it falls by mercy. You are stepping into an anointing you didn't earn, but were born for. The same fire that burned in prophets and pioneers now burns in you. The mantle has fallen, and heaven watches as you pick it up. Step forward. Chosen one. The river before you will part the moment your feet touch it. Every time light appears, darkness reacts. You felt this lately, a strange resistance rising from places you didn't expect. Old fears resurfacing. Familiar voices doubting. Sudden confusion, clouding what was once clear. Don't mistake it for failure. It's confirmation. The greater your light becomes, the more fiercely shadows try to stay. This is what happens when divine purpose begins to manifest in visible ways. Resistance becomes your companion. You're not cursed, you're confronted. The pressure you feel is not punishment, but proof of power. Darkness is territorial. And when you step into your next dimension, you threaten everything that used to control the space you're entering. Every lie, every cycle, every generational chain that once had authority over your life begins to tremble. That's why things suddenly got harder after you chose obedience, because your light started pushing back. The voice of God thundered in the book of Exodus, chapter 14, verse 14. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. That is the secret in this battle. You don't fight like the world fights. You don't argue, chase, or prove. You stand. You stay still in faith. You let the one who called you defend the calling itself. Your stillness is not surrender. It's spiritual strategy. It's how you allow heaven to take the field. The enemy's tactics are old but effective. Distraction, doubt, and discouragement. He wants you to question the progress you've made, to think the silence means God withdrew. But the truth is, heaven has already positioned angels around you. The pressure you feel is the tremor of an unseen war in your favor. You are not losing, you are being lifted through warfare. Sometimes the attack is not external but internal thoughts that accuse, fears that whisper, shame that tries to resurface. When that happens, remember, light doesn't argue with darkness, it simply shines. The moment you speak truth, the lies lose oxygen. When you declare peace, confusion suffocatus, you carry more power than you realize. Do you remember how Jesus faced storms? He didn't fight the wind, he spoke to it. Peace, be still. The same authority rests within you now. Every storm that rises against your spirit must bow to the authority of Christ within you. Don't negotiate with what you've been anointed to silence. It's normal to feel weary when battles seem endless. You wonder why peace comes in fragments, why relief never lasts. But understand, this endurance is the language of warriors. The ones heaven uses most are those who've learned to worship with wounds, to praise through pressure, to believe without proof. Every tear you've cried during this season has been counted. None of them are wasted. Each one waters the seeds of victory you'll soon see bloom. You're discovering that true warfare isn't about fighting people. It's about protecting peace. It's not about proving worth. It's about preserving faith. The enemy doesn't fear your emotions. He fears your consistency. When you keep standing, praying, forgiving, and hoping, even when everything shakes, that's when heaven releases its greatest power through you. Sometimes you'll notice that the people around you begin to reveal hidden motives. Light exposes what was comfortable in shadow. Don't resent it, thank God for it. He's revealing what can no longer walk with you. This is refinement, not rejection. Every shaking that removes counterfeit connections is mercy in disguise. Chosen one, you've already won battles that others don't even know you fought. You've survived nights that should have broken your spirit, words that could have poisoned your faith, losses that could have emptied your hope. Yet here you are still praying, still believing, still standing. That endurance is evidence that grace surrounds you. Heaven is not silent in your warfare, it's strategic. Every delay, every pause, every divine wait is timing, orchestrated to bring perfect outcome. You're not fighting for victory, you're fighting from victory. The cross already secured what you're walking into. You just have to hold the line. When the noise becomes too loud, step back into stillness. When accusations rise, speak truth. When fear whispers, worship. The light within you is greater than anything that stands against you. You are not outnumbered. You are overshadowed by glory. And when the battle finally settles, and it will, you'll realize something profound. The war didn't come to destroy you. It came to reveal you. It proved what you carry. It exposed the strength you didn't know was there. The resistance was the world's way of recognizing heaven's mark on your life. Don't fear the darkness anymore. Chosen one, it has already recognized your authority. Keep walking, even through the tension, because every step you take sends tremors into the enemy's camp. The light that burns inside you is unstoppable, unshakable, and eternal. There's a point in every chosen life where you finally stop asking why me and start whispering thank you. You've carried the weight of being different, of walking paths no one else understood, of seeing through eyes that noticed what others ignored. You once thought your isolation was punishment, but now you're beginning to see it as preservation. You were never meant to fit in because you were designed to stand out. Every time you tried to blend with the crowd, something in you resisted. You'd mimic their rhythm, but your soul always felt offbeat. You'd speak their language, but the words never carried peace. You thought something was wrong with you, but the truth is, heaven had wired you for distinction. What felt like rejection was divine redirection. You are not meant to mirror the world, you are meant to illuminate it. Your silence, your depth, your discernment, they were never flaws. They were indicators of calling. God never wanted you to blend in with the noise. He wanted you to become the sound that cuts through it. According to what is revealed in the book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 2, do not conform to this world, but be transformed by renewing your mind, then discern God's will. You can't unhear what's coming next. This is divine interruption, not punishment, but appointment. The Spirit of God is saying to you, you are mine, and when He calls you His, no one, no fear, no person, no demon can take that away. There were moments when you thought He was silent, but He was watching. There were tears you cried in secret that He caught like jewels. Every heartbreak, every betrayal, every night you whispered, why? He heard it all. Entertainment that once excited you now feels empty. That's not boredom, it's evolution. Your spirit no longer feeds on what used to sustain your flesh. Heaven is maturing your appetite. You can't crave ordinary once you've tasted destiny. This is the separation season. The divine dividing line, where comfort confronts calling. You'll lose the ability to participate in small talk when your mind is tuned to eternal truth. You'll feel restless around apathy because your soul burns for purpose. You'll start seeing through situations instead of getting stuck in them. That's how you know your mind is being renewed. It's not an easy process. There's grief in growth. You'll mourn old identities and outdated dreams. But remember, what you lose through obedience, you'll gain back through fulfillment. God never asks you to release something unless He plans to replace it with something greater. The cost of standing out is high, but the reward of authenticity is eternal. Chosen one. The world may never fully understand you, and that's okay. You weren't sent here to be understood. You were sent here to make an impact. When your presence disrupts the complacent, it's because your light exposes what was comfortable in the dark. When people misunderstand you, take it as confirmation that your spirit speaks a language their hearts aren't tuned to yet. Sometimes you'll walk alone, but even solitude becomes sacred when you realize heaven walks beside you. That's where clarity comes, in quiet rooms where only the Spirit whispers. That's where peace is born, in moments you stop trying to belong and start being who you were created to be. Stop apologizing for your difference. Stop dimming your light to protect fragile egos. You are not arrogant for walking in confidence. You're obedient. You're not distant for guarding your peace. You're discerning. You are not strange, you are set apart. You were never called to echo, you were called to carry. The oil on your life is rare, and rare things are never found in crowds. You may feel misunderstood, but heaven understands perfectly. Every time you choose purpose over popularity, the angels celebrate. Every time you stay silent when provoked, heaven marks it as strength. Every time you walk away from compromise, the Spirit whispers, "Well done." So today, stand tall in your difference. You are not too much. You are the exact measure heaven needs. You are not lost. You are being led. You are not unworthy. You are unmatched in divine design. If this truth is stirring something inside you, if it feels like confirmation that you're not crazy, just chosen type, "I stand apart," in the comments. Let those 3 words be your declaration, your agreement with heaven. When you write them, you're not rejecting people, you're rejecting the pattern that tried to silence your soul. You're saying, "I choose authenticity over approval. I choose alignment over acceptance. I choose to stand where heaven places me." Those words become your spiritual signature in the atmosphere, marking the moment you stopped blending and began becoming. The world doesn't need another echo. Chosen one, it needs your unique sound, and heaven has waited long enough to hear it. There is a shift happening right now in the unseen. Chosen one. It's subtle, yet undeniable, like the moment before dawn when darkness begins to loosen its grip on the sky. You feel it in your spirit before it shows in your circumstances. The atmosphere is changing, and heaven is preparing to release new instructions. This is not just another season, it's a prophetic shift. You may not realize it yet, but something has already turned in your favor. What once resisted you is beginning to release you. The tides that used to pull you backward are now propelling you forward. It's as if the whole universe is rearranging itself to make room for your obedience. This shift isn't random, it's response. Heaven moves when faith moves. The ancient words recorded in the book of Isaiah, chapter 43, verse 19, declare, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it?" God is saying the same thing to you now. Do you perceive it? He's not asking out of doubt. He's inviting awareness. The shift is already in motion. It just needs your agreement. Many people miss their next season because they keep rehearsing their last one. But you, chosen one, are awakening to the new thing being born in your midst. Sometimes, divine transitions feel like disorientation. Old methods stop working. Familiar doors close. Rhythms you relied on dissolve. Don't panic. This is the stretching of heaven, like an eagle stirring her nest. God disrupts comfort to awaken flight. You've outgrown where you've been. The nest was never meant to be your home. It was training ground for your wings. This shift will not come through striving, but through surrender. The Spirit isn't asking for harder work, but for deeper trust. You don't need to push the river. It's already flowing in your direction. Just step into its current, let go of control, and watch how everything aligns. The same hand that broke you is now building you into something indestructible. You're entering a time when acceleration meets accuracy. Things that once took years will now happen in months. Opportunities that were delayed will suddenly open. Conversations will connect like divine puzzle pieces. Heaven is orchestrating this movement with precision, but it will require your sensitivity. Move when He says move. Wait when He says wait. Speak when He whispers. You'll feel divine nudges, small, almost imperceptible impulses. That's how the prophetic shift operates. It's not loud, it's layered. It doesn't shout, it signals. Listen for the quiet promptings. Follow them, even when they don't make sense. For obedience in small things leads to revelation in great ones. Chosen one. This is not the time to second-guess your growth. You've been planted long enough. Now it's time to sprout. The soil around you may look dry, but beneath the surface, roots are breaking barriers. Soon, the world will see what heaven has been nurturing in secret. And as you stand on the edge of this shift, let me speak to your heart. Don't walk this journey alone. If this message has spoken to you, if it has stirred something deep within your spirit, let's walk this path together. Tap, like not for numbers, but as a sign of unity, an unspoken Amen. Share this word so another soul, standing at their own threshold, can hear heaven's invitation. Subscribe if you haven't yet, not to follow a voice, but to stay connected to the flow of divine revelation. Let each notification remind you that heaven is still speaking, still guiding, still calling your name. And if your spirit feels prompted to give, do it as a prophetic act, not as obligation. When a farmer sees the sky shifting, he sows, not because of pressure, but because of trust. A seed in the right season becomes a harvest in the next. Your generosity isn't a transaction, it's transformation. It's saying, I recognize the flow, and I choose to participate in it. Think of it like pouring oil back into the vessel that poured into you. You're not giving to maintain, it's an offering to multiply. Every act of faith becomes a ripple in the river of blessing. This is your moment of alignment, your invitation into motion. Heaven is changing the rhythm, step with it. Don't hold on to what's familiar when what's new is waiting. The shift doesn't ask for perfection, only participation. So lift your eyes. Chosen one. The old chapter is closing without bitterness, and the new one is unfolding with grace. Every delay was set up. Every silence was rehearsal. Every waiting room was preparation for this divine unveiling. You can feel it, can't you? The heaviness pressing on your spirit, not of despair, but of destiny. It's weight, not worry. It's the unmistakable presence of glory being formed within you. Heaven's fingerprints are pressing deep, molding your inner being into something resilient, radiant, and ready. The process is not always comfortable, because glory has gravity, and you are being stretched to carry it. You're beginning to understand why your heart has felt heavier in prayer, why your emotions have been deeper, why your dreams feel sharper. It's because the weight of glory is descending. What others perceive as pressure is actually preparation. The hand of God is shaping you for capacity. When heaven entrusts power, it first builds endurance to sustain it. The apostle reminds us in his second letter to the Corinthians, chapter 4, verse 17, "For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all." And this verse doesn't minimize your suffering, it redefines it. What you've been enduring is not punishment, it's production. Every ache, every silent battle, every private tear has been working something eternal within you. You're being carved from the inside out, sculpted by unseen hands to carry more than you thought possible. Glory doesn't rest on the surface, it's forged in the deep. It grows in the caverns of surrender, in the chambers of patience, in the secret places of resilience. You're not being pressed because you're weak, you're being pressed because you're ready. The greater the oil, the greater the crushing required to release it. You may not have realized it, but lately your prayers have matured. You no longer ask for comfort, you ask for clarity. You no longer chase applause, you pursue alignment. That's what happens when the weight of glory touches a life. It matures desire. It teaches you that success without sanctity is empty, and that influence without intimacy leads only to noise. The heaviness of this season is holy. You're being trusted with a dimension of God's presence that cannot coexist with distraction. That's why certain friendships are fading, why shallow conversations suddenly feel draining, why even your thoughts are being refined. The more glory rests on you, the more sacred simplicity becomes. Have you noticed how sensitive your spirit has become? What once seemed harmless now feels heavy. That's discernment awakening. Heaven is fine-tuning your spiritual senses so that you can carry glory without corruption. This sensitivity isn't weakness, it's stewardship. You are being taught to host divine presence with reverence. When glory descends, it changes posture. You begin to walk differently. It speak differently. Even breathe differently. You become aware that your words carry weight, that your silence carries power. You start realizing that presence isn't just around you, it flows through you. You are no longer merely a vessel, you are becoming a living sanctuary. The weight of glory often feels like loneliness because few can understand it. Don't panic, this is the stretching of heaven, like an eagle stirring her nest. God disrupts comfort to awaken flight. You've outgrown where you've been. The nest was never meant to be your home, it was training ground for your wings. This shift will not come through striving, but through surrender. The Spirit isn't asking for harder work, but for deeper trust. You don't need to push the river, it's already flowing in your direction. Just step into its current. It's what helps you keep loving when disappointment cuts deep. Glory gives weight to your words and gravity to your presence. Soon, you'll begin to notice how people respond differently around you. Some will be drawn, sensing peace they can't explain. Others will feel conviction, realizing the light exposes what they've hidden. Don't take either reaction personally. Glory attracts hunger and exposes shadows. It's part of its design. Carrying glory means becoming a reflection of heaven in motion. It means you walk into rooms and atmospheres shift. You pray, and unseen doors open. You speak, and chains loosen. But with that power comes responsibility. the call to humility. The more he exalts you, the lower you must bow. Chosen one, don't resist this pressure. The gold of your life is being refined. The weight you feel now will soon become the authority you carry. Every hidden struggle is making you more radiant, more steadfast, more anchored. The greater the weight, the brighter the shine. The time will come when you'll look back and see how perfectly everything fit together, the trials, the tears, the triumphs. You'll realize that what once felt like burden was actually blessing in disguise. The heaviness was heaven, pressing eternity into your soul. There are storms that come to destroy, and then there are storms that come to reveal. You've lived through both. Chosen one. Some winds tore through your life without warning, shaking everything you thought was stable. People left. Plans fell apart. Peace shattered. You looked at the chaos and asked, God, where are you in this? But now, as the dust begins to settle, you're realizing something extraordinary. Your name was in that storm. From the very beginning, heaven never lost sight of you. And this time, when you hear thunder, don't shrink back. Lift your face to the rain and remember that heaven knows your coordinates. The storm can find you, but it can't finish you. God has called your name, and when heaven calls, nothing can silence it. Chosen one. This moment, this stillness after chaos is sacred. The air around you carries prophecy. You are stepping out of the storm, not as a survivor, but as a steward of peace. This verse is more than a memory of a miracle. It's a map for your spirit. The same voice that silenced the storm on the sea is still speaking over you. And even now, the waves that once terrified, you are learning your name. 2. Because when heaven calls you chosen, even the wind must obey. You've been through seasons when everything around you felt violent. One moment you were standing strong, and the next you were gasping for air. But storms don't just test faith, they reveal foundations. And this time, when you hear thunder, don't shrink back. Lift your face to the rain and remember that heaven knows your coordinates. The storm can find you, but it can't finish you. God has called your name, and when heaven calls, nothing can silence it. Chosen one. This moment, this stillness after chaos is sacred. The air around you carries prophecy. You are stepping out of the storm, not as a survivor, but as a steward of peace. And this time, when you hear thunder, don't shrink back. Lift your face to the rain and remember that heaven knows your coordinates. The storm can find you, but it can't finish you. God has called your name, and when heaven calls, nothing can silence it. Chosen one. This moment, this stillness after chaos is sacred. The air around you carries prophecy. You are stepping out of the storm, not as a survivor, but as a steward of peace. Where you go next, you'll carry the same calm that once rescued you. You'll speak to other people's storms and watch them settle. You'll become the voice of reassurance that you once desperately needed. If your heart feels this truth, if you know that storm didn't come to destroy you, but to deliver you, then comment the number 444 below. Let it be your prophetic echo. The number 444 represents divine protection, angelic presence, and stability. Somehow, through the chaos, you kept breathing. That's grace. You came out with scars, yes, but also with sight, You now see storms differently. They are not signs of abandonment, but announcements of arrival, because after every storm, something new grows. The air clears, the soil softens, the sky resets. Likewise, after your storms, your faith deepened, your compassion widened, your dependence on God became unshakable. You don't just believe He can calm the storm, you know, He controls it. And this time, when you hear thunder, don't shrink back. Lift your face to the rain and remember that heaven knows your coordinates. The storm can find you, but it can't finish you. God has called your name, and when heaven calls, nothing can silence it. Chosen one. This moment, this stillness after chaos is sacred. The air around you carries prophecy. You are stepping out of the storm, not as a survivor, but as a steward of peace. You're being carved from the inside out, sculpted by unseen hands to carry more than you thought possible. Glory doesn't rest on the surface. It's forged in the deep. It grows in the caverns of surrender, in the chambers of patience, in the secret places of resilience. You're not being pressed because you're weak. You're being pressed because you're ready. The greater the oil, the greater the crushing required to release it. You may not have realized it, but lately your prayers have matured. By typing it, you're saying, I recognize that heaven was in my storm. I am covered. I am seen. I am safe. It's not superstition. It's symbolism, an act of faith written into the digital air. You're declaring to both heaven and earth that what once tried to break you has become your banner of victory. The storm has passed. Chosen one. The wind has obeyed. And now, in the quiet that follows, your name still lingers in the air, spoken by the very voice that calmed the waves. There's something sacred about being unseen. The world calls it obscurity, but heaven calls it record-keeping. You've spent years feeling invisible, doing good that no one noticed, giving when no one thanked you, loving when it was never returned. Yet, in the unseen chambers of eternity, every act of quiet obedience has been written down. Every choice to do right when wrong was easier became ink in heaven's book of remembrance. You may have been unnoticed by men, but you were never unnoticed by God. You've wondered if it even mattered, those moments when you forgave in silence, when you chose peace over pride, when you kept serving despite exhaustion. The answer is yes. It all mattered. Every hidden seed has been growing roots beneath the surface, preparing to break through when the time is right. You've been working in the shadows, but heaven has been shining light upon your faithfulness. Where you go next, you'll carry the same calm that once rescued you. You'll speak to other people's storms and watch them settle. You'll become the voice of reassurance that you once desperately needed. If your heart feels this truth, if you know that storm didn't come to destroy you, but to deliver you, then comment the number 444 below. Let it be your prophetic echo. The number 444 represents divine protection, angelic presence, and stability. Where you go next, you'll carry the same calm that once rescued you. You'll speak to other people's storms and watch them settle. You'll become the voice of reassurance that you once desperately needed. If your heart feels this truth, if you know that storm didn't come to destroy you, but to deliver you, then comment the number 444 below. Let it be your prophetic echo. The number 444 represents divine protection, angelic presence, and stability. Sometimes, when heaven calls your name in the storm, it's not to rescue you out of it, but to reveal his power within it. He lets the waves rise just high enough to prove that nothing can take you under as long as he is in you. The sound of his name on your lips becomes a weapon, and every wind that once mocked your faith must bow to your endurance. Look back for a moment. Really look. You survived what should have broken you. You didn't drown. You didn't lose your mind. You didn't vanish. The very moments you thought he was absent were the ones he was closest, recording every act of endurance with the tenderness of a father who never forgets. Being unseen doesn't mean being unvalued. The diamond spends most of its existence buried in darkness, yet its value never decreases. In time, pressure reveals brilliance. You are that diamond. The pressure you've endured was never punishment, it was process. Heaven was perfecting what would one day shine in the open. There's a reason your recognition has been delayed. God didn't want your identity to depend on validation. If people had crowned you too early, their praise might have replaced his presence. So he kept you hidden until your heart could handle honor without losing humility. That's divine protection disguised as delay. And though it feels lonely to live without acknowledgement, there's beauty in anonymity. It teaches you to serve purely, to love without agenda, to give without expectation. It allows you to focus on purpose rather than performance. The unseen years become your sacred archive of faithfulness. When the time comes, and it's closer than you think, what was hidden will be revealed, not through self-promotion, but through divine revelation. God will showcase what he has been shaping. People will wonder where you came from, not realizing you've been in heaven's workshop all along. Your name is known in heaven's council. Your obedience echoes in eternity. Angels have been assigned to guard what you've built in faith. The work you thought was forgotten has been written into heaven's ledger of legacy. There will be a day when you'll stand in rooms you never imagined entering, and you'll hear people speak of the impact you've made. But you'll know the truth. It wasn't the crowd that sustained you. It was the quiet approval of God. That secret nod from heaven was worth more than 1,000 applauses. Chosen one. Take heart. Just because no one claps doesn't mean heaven isn't standing. You've been seen, known, and remembered. The unseen seasons are not wasted, they are stored. And soon, what was hidden in the dark will shine like stars in the night sky, each glimmer testifying that God never forgets the faithful. Your reward is nearer than you think. Heaven has been waiting for the perfect moment to unveil what it has kept record of all along. And when it happens, it won't just bless you, it will prove to others that God truly honors those who remain steadfast when no one is watching. Fire is both frightening and fascinating. It consumes, yet it purifies. It destroys, yet it defines. And if you look closely at your life, chosen one, you'll see that fire has always been part of your story. You've walked through seasons that scorched you, betrayals that burned, losses that seared, disappointments that left ash where dreams once lived. But here you are, still standing, and the fact that you're still here means the fire didn't consume you, it refined you. The refining fire is never gentle. It's the furnace of transformation, where the unnecessary melts away and only the essential remains. Gold doesn't fear fire because it understands purpose. It knows that the flame doesn't come to destroy it, comes to distinguish. Likewise, every trial you've endured was sent to reveal what's real. to burn away what cannot last, and to make you radiant with the reflection of God's glory. As the prophet wrote in the scroll of Zechariah, chapter 13, verse 9, "This third I will put into the fire. I will refine them like silver and test them like gold. They will call on my name, and I will answer them. I will say, 'They are my people,' and they will say, 'The Lord is our God.'" When, you see, fire isn't a punishment, it's a conversation. When the heat rises, heaven is speaking. The flame says, "I'm not here to end you. I'm here to expose what's eternal in you." Every time life felt unbearable, God was revealing the metal within your soul. The impurities, fear, pride, doubt, were burning off. And what remained was strength, humility, and faith. You've noticed how the same things that used to shake you no longer move you. That's because you've been tempered. You've learned how to pray through pain, how to praise through pressure, how to worship even when the fire rages hottest. That's what refined faith looks like. It's tested, proven, and pure. When you were in the fire, you thought you were alone. But if you could see what heaven saw, you'd realize there was another in the flames with you. Just like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the furnace. Your flames became your fellowship. The presence of God didn't keep you from the fire, it joined you in it. And because of that, the very place meant for your destruction became the altar of your transformation. Look at your scars now. They don't tell stories of defeat, they sing songs of survival. The pain you endured has turned into purpose. The things that once embarrassed you have become the very things you now use to encourage others. Fire never leaves you the same. And that's the point. You emerged wiser, softer, stronger all at once. It's strange, isn't it? How fire both wounds and heals. How it can burn away illusions yet warm you with truth. That's what God's refining does. It brings you to a place where you no longer depend on what's fading, but on what's forever. You stop chasing comfort and start craving clarity. You stop seeking ease and start pursuing authenticity. The fire teaches you to value what endures. Sometimes you'll still feel the heat of old embers, the memory of something painful, the echo of something lost. But even that is grace. It reminds you of how far you've come and how deeply you've been changed. You're not who you were before the fire. You think differently, love differently, speak differently. The fire rearranged your inner world so that your outer world could no longer control you. And now, when others come to you crying from within their own flames, you'll know what to say. You'll tell them not to run, but to trust. You'll tell them that the same fire threatening to break them can become their becoming, because once you've walked through the furnace and met God there, you know that nothing is wasted, not even the heat. You're entering a stage where the fire no longer scares you, it sanctifies you. You understand that divine flames only burn what you don't need. They are not your enemy, they are your refining friend. The world calls it suffering, heaven calls it sanctification. Chosen one, your fire has become your filter. What remains now is pure. Your motives have been purified, your heart softened, your faith sharpened. You carry the glow of someone who's been close to the flame and lived to tell the story. That radiance, humble yet holy, is the mark of one who's been through refining and come out gold. So let the embers burn until they finish their work. Don't rush out of the process. Let it finish shaping your shine. Because when the fire cools and the smoke clears, you'll see it, the reflection of heaven staring back at you through the mirror of your own endurance. You can feel it now, the tremor beneath your spirit. Something ancient and divine is awakening within you. It's not fear, it's recognition. Heaven's frequency is stirring your name through the corridors of time, calling you into awareness. This is the sound of awakening, not a noise your ears hear, but a resonance your soul remembers. It's the sound of destiny knocking, of prophecy breathing, of purpose rising from deep within your bones. For years, you've been sleeping with your eyes open, alive, but not awakened. You've gone through motions, done what was expected, spoken faith without fully feeling it. But now, heaven has turned the volume up. Every word, every sign, every whisper feels louder. It's as though the veil between seen and unseen has grown thinner, and you're finally hearing the echo of your original design. The prophet Joel recorded it long ago, in chapter 2, verse 28. And afterward, I will pour out my spirit on all people. Your sons and daughters prophesy. That outpouring is happening again now. Here, through you. You're not just awakening to God, you're awakening with God. The same spirit that hovered over the waters in Genesis now hovers over your heart, stirring what's been dormant. Dreams are returning. Vision is clarifying. The voice you once doubted is speaking again. Awakening is never gentle. It shakes foundations and rattles illusions. You might feel disoriented as the old fades and the new emerges. It's like dawn breaking, beautiful but blinding at first. You've been living under the moonlight of partial understanding, but now the full sun of revelation is rising over you. The darkness isn't fighting you, it's fleeing you. You may not see it yet, but heaven is aligning circumstances, people, and opportunities to match your awakening. What felt delayed will suddenly accelerate. The doors that resisted you will open with ease, not because they changed, but because you did. Once the sound of awakening reaches your spirit, every locked place in your life begins to vibrate with possibility. It's as though your soul has been asleep in winter, and now spring has touched it. Everything that looked dead begins to bud again. Promises that seemed forgotten start to breathe. Even your prayers feel different, less disparity, more confident, because awakened souls don't beg, they declare. They don't doubt, they discern. Once the sound of awakening reaches your spirit, every locked place in your life begins to vibrate with possibility. It's as though your soul has been asleep in winter, and now spring has touched it. Everything that looked dead begins to bud again. Promises that seemed forgotten start to breathe. Even your prayers feel different, less disparity, more confident, because awakened souls don't beg, they declare. They don't doubt, they discern. That outpouring is happening again now. Here, through you. You're not just awakening to God, you're awakening with God. The same spirit that hovered over the waters in Genesis now hovers over your heart, stirring what's been dormant. Dreams are returning. Vision is clarifying. The voice you once doubted is speaking again. Awakening is never gentle. It shakes foundations and rattles illusions. You might feel disoriented as the old fades and the new emerges. Think of it as pouring water on the very tree that gives you shade. When you sow into divine words, you're not just supporting a message, you're strengthening a movement. Let generosity flow like sunlight. It warms. It nurtures. It grows. Whether it's a comment of encouragement, a prayer, a seed, or a share, it all matters. Each act becomes part of the same melody. Heaven is writing through you. And speaking of comments, take a moment. Chosen one, write from your spirit, not just your fingers. Say what this awakening stirs in you. Maybe it's, I feel it. Maybe it's, I'm ready to rise. Whatever it is, let it be real. Your words become testimony, and testimony carries weight in the realm of the spirit. Someone scrolling might read your comment and awaken because of it. This is how the sound spreads from one awakened soul to another, like ripples on still water. One word spoken in faith can move through hearts, continents apart. You are part of this symphony now. You're not just hearing the sound, you are the sound. Every step you take in obedience adds another note to heaven's melody on earth. Sorrise. Chosen one. Stretch your hands toward the light and let it pour through you. You are no longer asleep in survival. You are awake in purpose. The sound of awakening is your anthem now, and the world is about to hear it through you. There comes a time in every divine story when the preparation ends and the purpose begins. You can feel that moment now, a sacred stillness before movement, a holy anticipation that hums beneath the surface of your life. You've walked through the silence, the storms, the refining fires, and now, chosen one, heaven is placing something in your hands that you were born to carry. This is the moment you are crowned for the battle ahead. A crown is not always made of gold and jewels. Sometimes it's forged from endurance, humility, and faith that refuse to break. The crown God gives doesn't glitter, it glows. It carries authority that can't be stolen, favor that can't be faked, and strength that can't be explained. You've been molded for this, tested for this, anointed for this. As the apostle wrote in his second letter to Timothy, chapter 4, verse 8, now there is in store for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord will award. That crown isn't ornamental, it's operational. It signifies readiness, not retirement. To be crowned in the kingdom means you are trusted to carry weight on behalf of heaven. It means you've graduated from survival to stewardship. Every trial you've overcome has become part of your regalia. Every scar you bear has turned into a jewel in your crown, each one reflecting a story of perseverance. You might expect the crowning to feel comfortable, but it doesn't. A crown has weight. It rests on your head as a reminder of responsibility. You'll feel it in your thoughts, in your choices, in your words. Royalty doesn't move carelessly, because every step shifts atmospheres. That's the kind of awareness God is awakening in you, the realization that your life now carries impact far beyond your understanding. Heaven is clothing you with divine strategy. You'll start sensing instructions that don't come from intellect, but from insight. Suddenly, the pieces of your past will make sense why you were drawn to certain places, why specific skills came naturally, why particular pains kept repeating. Every fragment of your history is now converging into divine alignment. You are stepping into strategic authority. You'll begin to notice subtle changes. The same conversations that once drained you will now sharpen you. The same prayers that once felt unanswered will now move swiftly. The same resistance that used to intimidate you will now bow before you. That's what it means to walk, crowned you, operate from victory. not toward it. But don't mistake this coronation for comfort. Every crown comes with a calling, and every calling draws conflict. The crown on your head will attract both favor and opposition. Light exposes and provokes at the same time. You'll inspire some and irritate others. But your stability will be your witness. You don't need to defend what heaven has already defined. You're being equipped not only with authority, but with compassion. True kings and queens in the kingdom lead not through dominance, but through discernment. The authority God gives you isn't to elevate yourself, it's to liberate others. The crown is a reminder that you reign to serve. It's humility wrapped in holiness. The battles ahead won't look like the wars of your past. They'll be fought in words, in choices, in quiet moments where you must decide whether to act in flesh or in faith. Your crown is your compass. It reminds you who you are when doubt tries to speak. When you feel weary, touch it in your spirit and remember, heaven placed it there, not man. In this new season, your confidence must come from identity, not outcome. There will be victories that look invisible to the world, but roar in the spirit. Every time you forgive when you could retaliate, that's royal warfare. Every time you respond in peace instead of panic, you wear your crown well. Every time you pray instead of complain, heaven nods in approval. You are entering the battlefield of destiny, fully equipped with wisdom as your sword, compassion as your shield, and peace as your armor. The anointing on your life will not make the road easier, but it will make it meaningful. You will walk into situations and feel heaven's weight on your shoulders, not as burden, but as purpose. Chosen one. This is your coronation. You have been prepared through pain, trained through trial, refined through fire. Now, crowned in light, you march forward not as a survivor of what was, but as a steward of what's next. There is a sacred stillness that follows divine completion, a moment when heaven exhales and everything around you pauses in reverence. You are standing in that stillness now. Chosen one. The journey has not been simple, but it has been sovereign. Every chapter that broke you was necessary to shape you. Every delay was a detour with design. And now, as this divine narrative nears its crescendo, heaven leans close to seal what it began. This is the final seal of destiny. It is not an ending, but a beginning disguised as fulfillment. The season you're entering is not about striving or seeking, it's about standing. You are stepping into the reality of what heaven has already decreed. The word spoken over your life is about to take visible form. What once existed only in whispers will soon stand in front of you. Tangible and undeniable. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Isaiah. Chapter 55, verse 11. So is my word that goes out from my mouth. It will not return to me empty, but will accomplish what I desire and achieve the purpose for which I sent it. 1. That word has been hovering over you since before your first breath. It followed you through wildernesses, guarded you through storms, whispered to you in the night when everyone else fell silent. It never forgot its assignment to find you, form you, and fulfill you. Now, after all the refining, all the wrestling, all the wondering, that word is about to complete its circle. You can feel the closing of one door and the quiet unlocking of another. There's a gentleness to it, not the noise of breakthrough, but the peace of becoming. It's like dawn unfolding after a long night. No trumpets, no explosions, just light spreading softly, until you realize morning has come. That's how destiny manifests quietly, faithfully, beautifully. You are not who you were when this began. The timid soul who once questioned every whisper has become a voice of courage. The weary heart that once doubted now beats with assurance. The one who stumbled now walks with authority. This transformation was never accidental. It was the evidence of divine workmanship. Heaven sculpted you through the very chaos you feared would destroy you. The seal of destiny is God's declaration that nothing, no failure, nor delay, no opposition can cancel what He has written. The ink of His promise is indelible. Every mistake has been folded into mercy. Every wound has been rewritten as wisdom. What once felt like detours were actually the map unfolding in real time. The route was never random. It was revelation. You've come to understand that destiny isn't a single event. It's a series of awakenings. Every realization, every act of surrender, every quiet, yes, added another line to heaven's story about you. And now, that story is aligning perfectly with divine timing. The rhythm of your steps finally matches the cadence of God's heartbeat. Look back for a moment, not in regret, but in recognition. Can you see how every hardship carried hidden instruction? How every loss made room for something eternal? The fire purified you. The wilderness taught you to listen. The storm reminded you who commands the wind. Every season had a sermon. And you, faithful even when afraid, never stopped learning. Now, as heaven places this final seal, something inside you settles. There's no rush to prove, no anxiety to perform, just quiet assurance. You realize that destiny was never about arrival. It was always about alignment. To be sealed means to be synchronized with divine will, to rest in the truth that what's yours cannot be stolen, what's delayed cannot be denied, and what's begun by God will not end unfinished. This seal also carries a promise of visibility. The hidden obedience of your past seasons is about to speak publicly. The fruit of your endurance will be evident, not for vanity, but for testimony. People will see peace where pain used to live and know that only God could have done this. You will become a living epistle, a walking revelation of restoration. But remember, sealing is also sending. The moment heaven seals a promise, it sends the vessel carrying it into the world. You are that vessel. The same spirit that hovered over the chaos in Genesis now hovers over you, preparing to breathe through your words, your presence, your life. You are being launched, not for recognition, but for representation. You are the evidence of grace at work. Chosen one. Destiny doesn't demand perfection. It requires presence. Simply being here, still believing, still breathing, is proof that heaven's word has held true. What God spoke, He will finish. What He began, He will sustain. Stand still in this holy silence for a moment longer. Let the peace of completion wash over you. Feel the final seal press into your spirit, the invisible mark that says, "It is done, it is secure, it is fulfilled." And as that seal settles, lift your gaze. To be sealed means to be synchronized with divine will, to rest in the truth that what's yours cannot be stolen, what's delayed cannot be denied, and what's begun by God will not end unfinished. This seal also carries a promise of visibility. The hidden obedience of your past seasons is about to speak publicly. The fruit of your endurance will be evident, not for vanity, but for testimony. People will see peace where pain used to live and know that only God could have done this. Chosen one. Take a breath. You've journeyed through revelation, through refining, through the weight of glory itself, and you've made it to the other side. You've walked the full arc of heaven's message and discovered what many never do, that you were never forgotten, never forsaken, never ordinary. You were chosen before time and sealed in eternity. If these words have stirred your spirit, if you've felt heaven whisper through them, don't let this be the end of our connection. You will become a living epistle, a walking revelation of restoration. But remember, sealing is also sending. The moment heaven seals a promise, it sends the vessel carrying it into the world. You are that vessel. The same spirit that hovered over the chaos in Genesis now hovers over you, preparing to breathe through your words, your presence, your life. You are being launched, not for recognition, but for representation. You are the evidence of grace at work. The story isn't over, it's unfolding in glory. You are not standing at an ending, but at a threshold. The final seal doesn't close the book, it turns the page.